I've got Stephen Chen in the building with some very interesting products here. He's the founder of Petnostics. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, brother.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Tell us about your company. What do you guys do? We're looking at some of your products here.
Yeah, so we're basically, you can liken it to an early warning system for your pets. And so this is an at-home urine test to make sure your dog and cat, they're healthy. And so that's the premise behind Petnostics. You may have seen us on Shark Tank. We did receive a deal on the show with Lori and Kevin. And so it's been a fun ride since then.
So this cool little device, I'm just guessing, goes out like this.
Yep.
And this is where you can
get the urine.
Catch the specimen.
Yep.
And then bring it back and you put it in this.
Correct.
You put it in this little jar here, right?
Yep.
And you put it right through the top?
No, yeah, you take the lid off.
You take the lid off, but it has to hit those.
Basically the way it works, yeah, once you get the urine in here, you flip this, and so the urine kind of comes in contact with the pads, changes colors, uses our app, reads the top, tells you then.
Which is so simple too, yeah, because I see the colors are all perfectly done on here, but it shows all the different things.
Yep.
And then your awesome box here made it so easy for me to instantly know, and the app's on the front, smart marketing, but it shows all the different things you guys test for.
Correct. These are some common issues that kind of may pop up. And
step 1, step 2, step 3, colors. You guys did a really good job.
Try to be straightforward. And this was, this was an iterative process. It took us a while to get to this point. Our first box was a very, it was very minimalistic.
This is a piece of art. This was specifically designed for each one of these things. Most people don't realize that. So what was the process like when you created it versus when you went and had it professionally done?
Yeah, so when we created it, it was, again, just to be cool. And so I was like, oh, let's be minimalistic and just kind of it just said Petnostics. It was very kind of understated. But then when we got professionally done, or with our designer on our team, really then understood the mentality of a person buying. And so when they're walking to retail shelves, you have 3 to 5 seconds to capture their attention. And in those 3 to 5 seconds, you have to be able to really educate and convey what your product is about. And when we had our first box, no one knew what Petnostics was. This, at least when you first see it, you see there's a dog, cat, or a dog, you see there's an app. So you understand that this is for pets. You understand that there's an app component of it. It looks medically with this stuff, right? And so that's what we really wanted to convey.
I love that. Now, does it all come in one package?
These are separate SKUs, basically, or separate items. So this is the main test kit, which comes in this cup. Correct, yeah. This is obviously the urine collector, and this is hydrophobic cat litter. So we don't forget about the cat people as well. For cat to get the urine, it's a little bit harder because they use a litter box, but use this, pour it in the litter box. When the cat goes in the litter,
then you can use this scooper to scoop that and put it in here?
There's actually a pipette in here that you just kind of pipette the urine up because it's hydrophobic litter, so the urine won't absorb.
Catch me up. Go back to the beginning and then catch me up to how did this turn into a reality?
Yeah, no, I think it was something inherent. I always just wanted to build something. I think, after college, I did consulting for a little bit, and it wasn't the same. I made slide decks presentation.
What type of consulting?
Management consultant. And so I present these business strategies, or I manage how to manage your credit risk better. And
you don't sound like you were very passionate.
It just wasn't.
That.
It was nice, but it was also at the end of the day, I delivered a PowerPoint presentation or a right, and it just didn't. I wanted something tangible. I wanted something to be able to create something I could hold in my hands, I guess. And so that was what kind of spurred me into doing this. I did spend some time in the medical device company, gaining experience, learning how diagnostics and all these types of things work. And from there, I realized that, growing up, I had pets. And, I had pets, and then basically realized that, there was this, overlap where people sometimes had an issue bringing their pets to the vet all the time, and sometimes they just want to know.
It's tedious.
It is. It's a problem. Sometimes the pets don't want to go, and it's annoying, right? And I think this was, again, a way to allow those pet parents to really see if anything is wrong before really having to go to the vet.
I love it because you pointed out a pain point in the industry that maybe wasn't being served in the best way possible. And I think for the people out there that are sitting on the fence, I have an idea or have a business I want to start, it starts by finding where is there a pain, a fear, a struggle, a frustration in the marketplace that there's enough demand for that you can then survey and find out, would they buy something like this if it was in the marketplace? And what would that dream product look like?
Yeah.
And here it is. And, and that's essentially what you do is you found the pain point, you found out there was demand, and you give them something. I can only imagine, I remember it's when I had my dog, it was to take him to it was you'd almost rather wait until something was wrong to be validated versus going through the pain of going there and having him be there's nothing wrong anyways. And you're oh.
And then you did all that, you paid
I did
a lot
all
of money.
that when I could have just done this. And most likely, is this on Amazon?
Yes. It's on Amazon.
You can just Amazon Prime this thing to the door within a day. What do you think are 3 things, though, that are really important, crucial for the aspiring entrepreneur who plans on starting their company? 3 things they need to know before they jump all in.
So before you jump all in, I think, I would say like the first thing you should do is really just do a small, simple test. Like, it's a lot of, it's really complicated when you're like, oh, I'm going to start a business, right? But if you
especially if you've never done it before.
Yeah, but if you break it down to a smaller task, like, oh, like, I just want to see if I can, for me, like, I just want to see if I can scan this strip with a phone, right? Like, and kind of made that my kind of goal.
Yeah.
I just think that's a really good way to get started. So just like break it down to manageable pieces, I guess.
Okay.
Second tip, I think, is also like, don't worry about the negative stuff. Like in terms of like, there's so many things that can go wrong, right? I think, obviously like, yeah, if you sit there and start thinking through like, oh, if I do this and there's a competitor here, X, Y, Z, right? Then you may never really get started. Again, just start and do it. And along that process, you'll learn.
Yeah.
I think third tip is like, yeah, if you're going to, when you do it, fail fast. I believe like if you realize something doesn't work, move on and just like, but take the learnings with you and really apply it to whatever task you have next.
We'll be right back with Stephen Chen to talk more about his company and dive more into what it takes to build a successful business. We're back with Stephen Chen. He's the founder of Petnostics. And I want to talk to him about what we were talking about earlier, which is you've got some different SKUs here. And when most people might just dominate this one thing, right? Because you hear people, do it well, do one thing and do it well. Okay. But I think that to really be a dominant brand, to really serve people, which is what this is about, business is about serving, to really serve people in the fullest way, if you have an audience and customers and clients that know, like, and trust and respect what you have, your new product SKUs become an easy way to continue to serve them and add value. Because do you really want them to go out and put their faith and trust in other companies and brands? When you don't know that they're going to be served in the best way, it's out of integrity, I believe. So it's your responsibility to serve them. So let's talk about all the different SKUs that are going to be coming out and already are coming out for this. For example, I was saying, if they do have diabetes or urinary tract infection or kidney stones or some of these things I can't even articulate, where's the supplements? You should sell those, and et cetera, et cetera. So talk about that for us, because I think adding product SKUs to this is going to help blow your business up, and you guys are already doing that, so talk about it.
Yeah. No, you hit the nail on the head in terms of like when you build a brand and the value of that brand and people trusting that brand, and something I honestly didn't appreciate early on. And now that we've had this brand and people do come back and ask us for like other products that we can like help their pets with, it does get us thinking in that line, like how do we help those people? Like you said, we have a responsibility to help those people. How do we do that? And so where we're expanding right now, for example, first of all, some of these conditions, say diabetes, you have to test regularly. And so we now have disease-specific versions of this test where it's meant for pet parents who if their pets have diabetes, they can test more frequently. So basically every week they can run a test, and it's just like a simple strip that they can scan. And so that's one thing, right? But then from that next level, it's like, okay, if you do have, say, bladder stones, what do you need to do to treat that, which you mentioned, right? And yes, there are supplements that you can then feed your pet, and we're looking now into also doing like Petnostics branded supplements that we can give these pet parents.
And my question is, something like this where people would be like, but how do we get the money to scale it out? A lot of the times, you can just white label your own brand on the product or the service. So if you do your research, and again, out of integrity, you find that this is one of the highest quality products in the marketplace, you can reach out to them and you can negotiate a deal where you can white label, meaning I simply take this, and I put my brand on it, right? And now it's yours, and then you pay them a percentage. So that's a really easy way to ultimately add new SKUs on, is by negotiating a deal with a company where they'll allow you to put your brand and white label it. So
and that's when you said focus earlier. Yes, like I still really believe in focus, but focus in what your capabilities are, right? And so our capabilities are in developing this strip and the algorithm to read the colors and all that, right? But are we experts in creating supplements? No, but that's to your point. Find partners that you can work with. You can private label. You can do all these different
JV,
options.
affiliate, kickback. There's so many different ways. I want to talk about for just a minute, ultimately what you believe as an entrepreneur yourself, having pitched on Shark Tank, probably what most people would perceive as one of the scariest, coolest, exciting moments of an entrepreneur's life, being seen by millions of people. What do you believe are some of the key components and ingredients that make up a world-class successful entrepreneur that you've seen, that you're embodying to build your business?
So number one, I would say is, again, the lack of fear. I think a lot of times I have seen people now who are sometimes like, they feel like, oh yeah, I can do all this, but then they start worrying about everything else, right? And I think I just am a natural optimist, and I just believe those things will take care of itself. And like obviously I'm aware of them, but I don't dwell on the negatives. And so I think that is a key fact. I I think you do have to be scrappy. I think it's like scrappy and just kind of figure out like, oh, like take this from here, take that from here.
Resourceful is another word.
Yeah, resourceful is a good word, yeah.
Yeah.
Being resourceful is very important, especially early on. Like you have to be resourceful. And especially these days, like there's so many service APIs, things that you can tie into to really like prove your concept, right? And I think that's the thing.
Now than it's ever been.
Exactly. So that's another thing I would say.
Okay.
Third,
Anything else?
I would say like hustle and just in terms of like
Gary V. You know Gary V.
Yeah.
Put the hustle in.
I would say like you have to be prepared for the ups and downs, right? Because like I think you have to like hustle through the ups, hustle through the downs. In terms
So it's
of, like,
not easy.
It's not easy. Right?
I want people to know that a lot of people out there, they think, hey, it is easier now than it's ever been before. So I should quit my job and start a business.
Yeah.
Don't overestimate what you can do in a year.
Yep.
I would say think about the 3 to 5 to 10 year game plan.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think too many people are trying to get the quick win.
That actually is a very good point. I think being patient a little bit, because a lot of people go into the startup mentality thinking like, oh man, yeah, in a year or two, exit, I'll be done.
$1 billion valuation, all this.
And that is, again, like for the majority of startups, that's not the process, right? You have to be able to persevere. I think that's actually the word I was looking for, perseverance, right? Being able to go through the hard times, go through like, again, and the high times, like don't get too excited because obviously everything levels out, right? And so perseverance is very important.
We had Tillman Fertitta, the multi-billionaire, sitting in the same chair as you, the multi-billionaire, Tillman Fertitta. And he said, when the good times are good, always know the bad times are coming.
Yeah.
And when the bad times are coming, always know the good's right around the corner. And I think that's the perseverance. That's the spirit of the entrepreneur. That's coming from a billionaire. Like, trust me, when he says a billionaire, he's like, when the good times are here, the bad's coming. When the bad's coming, the good's around the corner. So it's just like I think because it's gonna happen. Even if you're a billionaire, you gotta know you're riding the wave. You got 60,000 employees. So it's like, I think it's such a great thing. Perseverance. We hear it from all different types of people, but it's like the one thing that's guaranteed is the roller coaster of entrepreneurship. My question is, how do you stay grounded when it's up, when you're riding it up? How do you stay humble? And when you're crashing down or you're feeling the loops, how do you stay passionate, motivated, and focused? A couple like questions intertwined.
That's a very good question, right? And I think that's where, luckily, I have a strong support system, right? Like I have friends who are also entrepreneurs. I have, I guess, my wife to talk to too. Like these are the things, like sometimes having those strong support networks in those tough times really help, right? And I just kind of, they remind me to like, either stay positive or stay grounded, right? And like not to get too ahead of myself. And I think that's one way. I think internally too, I just know because I've been through it now. I know similar to that, Fertitta brother. Like, I mean, it is like, good times, like, Shark Tank, exciting, everything great. And even after that, right? And like sales peaked everything, but then, there were still tough times after that, right? And so like going through it now, just understanding that, there's always more to come, I think. And that's just how I kind of, keep myself in check.
I love it. That was the perfect way to end. It's like, there's always more to come. So no matter where you are in your journey, not the destination, the journey, wherever you are, whatever season you're in, just know there's always more to come. The good, the bad, it's all part of the game and the journey. You just got to be able to create an amazing group of people around you, colleagues, mentors, loved ones, and have that support group that can be there with you while you ride the roller coaster. If somebody wants to get some of these products, we already said Amazon, but I'm sure you have a website or social media. Where can they do that?
Yeah, petnostics.com and all the socials /Petnostics.
Okay, awesome, brother. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.